Okay. This is not high enough, I don't see your head there.
You need some kind of something. Oh, that's multi-purpose. Multi-purpose unicorn.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't
Convenient.
fall down.
To use this microphone just for show, you know. You have questions?
Yeah. I know I won't remember them otherwise.
Never.
Yeah. Could you first introduce the band in a few sentences?
A few sentences.
You can also talk a long time if you want, however.
Well, we're a pretty young, relatively young, in extreme melodic metal band, basically, and working in music. Okay, let's start over. Okay, we're a pretty new band in the scene of melodic death metal, as you may say, perhaps, and been playing for around 10 years, and now, in my opinion, started to find our kind of sound slowly but certainly, and just working on stuff and playing some gigs and stuff, I guess.
How did the band come into being?
Yeah, very traditional, like in a movie. We started in a band camp for teenagers, and we met. We were from kind of different backgrounds. Everybody was playing different instruments. Basically, the whole camp was about more like jazz and Latino and pop. And the metalheads, of course, found each other, and this is the end result. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Traditional.
Didn't thought that
Yeah.
that kind of movie thing really works somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's like just from some American Pie or something. That's how we do it.
What does the name Brymir means and why did you choose it?
We were really inspired by this Norse mythology stuff, and we wanted to use something from that, and we didn't find really something that really inspired us, so we combined the terms Ymir, which is the giant from whose body the whole world is created at the beginning of time, and Brymir, which is the table at which all the heroes feast forever after Valhalla, Ragnarök. So it's like, you know, before the beginning and after the ending. So it's like Alpha, Omega. You know, Brymir is the
cool.
table. So it's like Ymir and Brymir. So it's like we felt really clever when we came up with this.
Well, I'm not sure if many people are getting this, but
No, but it's our own little joke.
do you already have a plan for a new album?
Yeah, actually we have quite a lot of new songs, and now the problem is we have like, or not a problem, it's a good problem, I guess. We have like two different kinds of styles basically, and we're not sure if we want to just smack everything on one album or we want to kind of split it and make two separate things, and we have to see. We have to probably in what's it called, the first month of the year. January, yes, good. So in January, by the end of January, we will have decided. We have all the pre-production, the demos done. You know, if we have enough of songs of both styles, then we will maybe split. But we have plans for the album, yes, and we're working on it, and we will have it out next year. And I don't promise, but I really would like to believe. We were supposed to already have it done this year now, but there's lots of stuff happening in our lives and shit like this. But now, 2018, yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
What is the main inspiration for the songs?
I guess it's this kind of certain sound which we learned to love when we were younger, which has never changed. When we were listening lots to Winter Sun and Dimo Borgir and stuff like this, and this is the sound which inspires us, and then the lyrics is kind of difficult to say, because I write some lyrics and Jarkko writes some lyrics, the bass player, and we have very different kind. Jarkko studies English language at university, so he's a real geek with literature and poetry and stuff. So he likes to write about this really big concept, and I more kind of get inspired by a word or a sentence or a concept, and it just is one like a lightning strike. Okay, like this is cool, and then I just from this one word I get everything. Just inspired by concept, I can have a whole song which just it's the one word which is kind of like fuels it, and it makes out the message, it's just one kind of phrase, something which is like power, and then you get it from there. For me, it just automatically clicks. I found one thing or one melody or one something that inspires, just escalates. And Jarkko is different. He writes he takes notes and writes some, essay, and then he starts from there cutting down and making lyrics and one draft and then another. But he's a proper English language player. We're kind of opposites, and then we try to find a balance. He's complaining to me because I'm too simple, and I'm complaining to him because it's too complicated.
Well, I guess you need both sides sometimes, so...
It's like alpha and omega concept still, also at this level.
What was the biggest... Which band was the biggest inspiration for you?
Difficult to say, because it
three bands or something.
Because it changes every year. It changes, but still I haven't been discovering much new music. But I guess bands like Winter Sun and Dim Borgir maybe made out the core. And the Ensifer earlier stuff, but nowadays it's not so much of that. And also Moon Sorrow was a really big inspiration in the early days, and we listened to lots of power metal like Rhapsody and stuff like this. So kind of a mix, but basically Dim Borgir and Winter Sun are maybe the two which was the absolute strongest influence, which kind of just blew our brains out, in 2004, 2005. We started really getting into this fast music. We didn't even know about the time, but all of us got into the time music at the same time. So those two maybe.
What about a new tour or something?
Yeah, tour. We have to first get the album before we go tour, because otherwise it's not really worth, So as soon as we have the album ready to be promoted, then we will book tours. And because every time before we kind of fucked it up, we kind of messed up the whole cycle thing. So now we're gonna get it right, everything. So we're gonna release the album and have already planned the whole year, and the tours and everything like this. So now we're gonna get it right this time.
Yeah.
Because before it was not even possible. There was the first album, there was complications, and the second album we worked on it so long, and then we just had to put it out at the time when it just was possible to get it out. But now we have actually first time opportunity to do it by the book. So yeah, 2018 is gonna be a busy year.
If you could choose whatever place you want to play, what country would it be for?
Country.
Well, if you can decide
it was Japan. Japan was the one we went already. That was cool. Some other place which would be cool would probably be United States of America would be cool to experience. And Korea would be nice.
Okay.
So US would be interesting and cool to visit, and Korea would be great. At least for me, as a
Why?
to go. I don't know. I really like the food, and it says something about the culture which is kind of interesting.
So you all also play in other bands?
Yeah.
So how do you handle that?
Well, it's kind of. Well, with Joona, it's of course he's super busy, and Battle Beast is really kicking off, so we have to really and of course he has to tour with Battle Beast because there's it's of course first of all his livelihood. All other of us we work day jobs or study or something, but he has a really great opportunity to actually play metal for a living, so it's really a nice achievement, so to speak. So we just have to try to juggle and manage, and then Joona joins when he can. Janne maybe if he has the energy to do it, but he's also really busy outside the Battle Beast things. But apart from that, all of us other guys are available always. Joona has to. He comes when he comes, and then we have Antti, backup guy, which is a really great player and a really good friend. So we manage.
But it's planned to keep him in the band then.
Joona?
Yeah.
No, it's really important. Because the whole songwriting process is correspondence quite pretty far between me and Joona. Like songs can go really far just between us two before they even go anywhere. Like if Joona wasn't around, I don't know if I could do this shit, you know. It's really elemental. All the pre-production, all the songwriting, most of it is done with me and Joona still. Because he has his laptop on tour, you know, we can work on some stuff, you know, I can send him material, he can listen it to him, you know, or give me feedback and stuff like this, and come up with stuff. Yeah, but it's difficult, it's adult life, you know. It's the same thing, you know, if you would have a, whatever, you're a scientist or something, working in the military and the war breaks out, you know. I'm sorry I can't come to the front line, I have bad practice, you know.
Well, you could try that.
You could try, yeah.
Would you like to work with an orchestra somewhere in the future?
Yeah, that would be super cool. Like the longer we do this and the longer we use these libraries, programming symphonic orchestra, the more kind of we get tired of the sound because you start to recognize, oh, this guy is using this Vienna instruments library, or this guy is using this, but I recognize all the choir sounds, all the horns, or the same the horns. Well, I know this one. You know? So when you have a real orchestra, you can really, it sounds like, you know, sounds better, but it's of course it's a huge operation to do it because you have 50 people in the orchestra and they need to practice things and they need salary for where they practice, and then, you know, it's an expensive project, but that would be very, very cool, and then working with a real choir as well would be super nice. So yeah, that would be something to aim for, definitely.
When and why did you choose to make music on a kind of professional level?
I kind of ended up doing it. I was always playing in bands and thinking about some way how to be able to work with music and make a living, because I was never, even if I was already enthusiastic about playing in bands, I never expect to make a living from this, you know. And or I don't know, I do not expect anything, it would be nice, but then I ended up as 18 years old working in a venue as a sound engineer, and then I just ended up from there studying sound, and now I run a recording studio and stuff like this. So on that level, yeah, working professionally with music, just like I just ended up, you know, doing it. But it started from a passion of wanting to make music, and also to provide yourself an environment where you can work on a professional level with equipment and with studios and stuff without having to pay all the time. But this plan backfired very badly, because now I'm stuck with lots of studio spaces and lots of people and lots of projects, and then it's really hard to find time to actually make your own music. So this is like, it completely backfired. Now I have to really think like how I'm gonna organize this. I had to take like a 6-month break now this year from my work to work on new material, and I wrote like half an album of stuff, which is good. But when I leave the scene for half a year, you know, that all my returning customers who I work with, from like professionally sound design or music, they just, you know, they need to find somebody else because they need somebody. So now I spent the last 3 months just trying to collect these guys together, like, hey, I'm back in business, you know. It's yeah, but it's difficult to working professionally with music and making music as a, you know, for fun and enjoying it is really hard to combine. So still it's about finding the balance, you know. But maybe I will learn.
Hopefully. Isn't it difficult to have the studio on such a touristic place as Suomenlinna?
In summer it's very bad, yeah. In summer it's really, really, really horrible. But you have to be really rude. You have to be a few minutes before the ferry leaves, and be really rude, just push through. And now this year they installed this special gate, so if I have this card thing, I can show it and I get straight. But yeah, it's in summertime it's annoying, but in winter and autumn it's really cool, because the sea is always stormy, or the sea is frozen, and it feels so cool going there in winter, because there's like 40 centimeters of ice, and when you go in the morning, after there's been a few hour break with the ferry traffic, the ice is almost frozen again. So you're sitting in the ferry and you're really feeling the whole ferry shake from pushing through the ice. Like, that'd be really cool to record this sound and use it somewhere. It's a sound of determination, like I'm fucking going to work now. Yeah.
I would be probably freezing to death there, but
It's cold.
yeah. If you could choose one lineup for a tour, however you want, how would it be?
As me participating with the band playing there, or just watching?
Maybe both.
It's a tough question because my favorites bands are from such different genres of metal that they could not fit on the same tour. But something really cool for me, which I would really like, I would pay everything, my whole fortune, would be like a tour maybe with Morbid Angel and well, the ultimate for me was like now, which I would really like if you would get like Morbid Angel and Dark Funeral and Nile to tour, then I would be like in the front row. And as for playing, I would just waiting for an opportunity to tour with any of the people that I really looked up to, like Winter Sun or Musoro or Eciferum. It would be a Fintroll, really looking forward to any kind of opportunity to play with these guys. It's always when you're even opening for just one gig with bands that you really look up to, which feels super special.
I can imagine that, yeah.
But tough question, very very difficult question, because my dream tour would be such a mixed mess of different genre artists. It's just for me. I can just enjoy all evening. 12 hours of music. Starting from some mellow stuff, from electronic music, and then going into death metal and black metal. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my dream lineup would never come true, but mostly because two of the bands not liking each other anymore.
Okay. I think I know which ones you maybe don't know.
I would like to start with Beast in Black,
Yes,
and then
like,
Battle Beast of Maniac.
I guessed
maybe
so much. Yeah.
between
Yeah.
some Brymir.
Yeah.
That will definitely never happen.
Maybe you have to organize a tour and book everybody. And you just tell everybody you're the headliner and then surprise head like a guest.
Yeah.
I guess organize so nobody ever sees each other.
Maybe then it works. Yeah. Yeah. What is the most important thing for a foreigner who wants to live in Finland that this person needs to know?
Never talk to people on public transport. Avoid small talk. No, but that's bullshit actually, because you have to, or maybe just like, don't. If somebody seems cold or not irresponsive to your small talk, just go ahead and blast more, because Finns are usually good people, but they are just really cold. Often they are hard to reach, but you have to get some ball rolling and it's good.
Actually, they're quite nice to foreigners.
Yeah, usually.
Tell them you are from another country.
Yes.
They're like, oh really?
Yeah, but that's usually Don't mind and visit in summer. Like everybody, of course, many people want to come here in winter, but I'm right now. I have my first official kind of this wintertime depression, darkness, thing. Everybody is usually. I've always been like I'm immune to this, this darkness never gets me. But now this year, I'm on the last couple of weeks. I've been so dead, and I'm just about to book flights to India and Thailand. So come in summer, and don't mind people who may seem cold or rude. Just go ahead and agitate them a little bit, and just push them a little bit, and they will be really open and nice.
Well, anything else you wanna say?
Just maybe a warning or a promise, or how do you say we're gonna have our new stuff is gonna be interesting. Some songs are gonna be there's a kind of 3 different sounds, and some people might be shocked by some of the new stuff because it's different. but there's lots of stuff which is very much like the Brymir you know, but just better. But there will be some surprises, and I think there will be one single which is kind of really confusing and surprising to some people, but I hope they will like it still. So be prepared for confusion.
That reminds me that I heard that there's maybe a single coming before the album somewhere.
There will be a couple at least. I think 2. We're planning on having 2 singles and hopefully to represent the 2 different kind of sounds. So one which is like more traditional kind of Brymir, really epic, melodic, heroic stuff, and then one which is kind of different. And it has kind of a science fiction theme. So everybody listening or reading or whatever, you know, there's gonna be some science fiction themed Brymir songs coming also.
Interesting.
So I hope you like it.
Let's see.
Cool.